Hello again, welcome back to the Unloved JDM channel. So before we get into today's video, I kind of just want to show you really quickly a couple of the new designs that are on our website. If you're already on Instagram and Facebook following us, which if you're not, why not, go do it. You'll have already seen these, but nonetheless, if you're not, I just want to show you a couple of the new ones, so there you go. Right, back to today's task. So basically, a few weeks ago, I was actually woken up by the police at 3 in the morning to say that someone's hit my car and driven off. At first, obviously you wake up at 3 in the morning, the police are there, it's a little bit like, oh my god, what's happening now? But nonetheless, he was straight on it, he said it's not to worry about, and looked at my car and there we go. So this is the photo from 3 in the morning, and that was, like I say, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I've just like, because of a few things going on, I had to leave the car alone, it had to wait, and here we are today and I can finally touch the car. So, unfortunately, the useless so-called driver did quite a lot of damage. If you stand at it from this side, you can see how far in it actually goes. I think if you compare it to the other side, you'll definitely see how far in it actually goes. So there you go. Obviously the rear light's the easiest part to change, but the bodywork is another story. Problem I've got is I don't believe you can get welding panels for this car, and if you could, I'd probably just done that because it'd just be easier. But ultimately, you can't get it. What I do want to say though is a big thank you to a guy whose name I'll put on the screen. I got a message from a guy to say I've got 2 lights you can have for free. If you want them, just pay the postage, and credit where it's due, he was on it the same day. So I could have, if I'd been able to, I had the car back on the road within like a day. But that wasn't the case, it wasn't meant to be. So this is where we're at. Now, that's bumper, that's plastic, so I'm hoping that that will come back once I get this bit somewhere near. I don't entirely know how I'm going to do this yet, but you've got to start by obviously stripping it down. The good thing is you can get to it inside the boot, which you can't see because it's dark, so I won't show you that bit. But what this actually made me think of is I never completely honestly like the colour that much. I like the style and the shape of the car, just not the colour, and it's got a few little scabby bits on it as well. So this kind of got me thinking. Now, if anybody knows any good, interesting greens, and it has to stay green because I don't want to change all the little holes around the bonnet and the boot and stuff like that, I would change the entire colour of the car. So if you can think of a half decent green colour, let me know, leave a comment, and maybe even a picture on our socials if you can. And I need some sort of ideas, some way to just change it up a little bit, just to make it a nicer colour. Things I'm doing this, I'll do a little bit, I might as well, right? Anyway, let's get to it, see if we can straighten it out first, then we'll worry about colours. There we go. Right, so now we can see what we're dealing with. Basically, this crease there where that line is, that's kind of the damage from it. Those there, I believe, are for the bumper. So, if I have to take that off, that could be quite easy. But let's get the light out first. Right, well, I'm not planning on taking the bumper all the way off, I don't have to yet. Good news is that now I've unhooked it, it's kind of gone back to closer to its original position. So if we get the metal work right, in theory, it might actually latch back in for now. All the body guys are probably screaming at me now, doing this way, do it this way, do it this way. Can't hear you. Can't hear you at all. Type in the comments, I'll hear you, but I'll have done it by then, just so you're aware. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to point the heater at it a little bit, try and warm metal up, because obviously metal is easier to play with when it's soft. But this is trial and error. Wish me luck. Okay, so I've run the heater on it for a couple of minutes, not too long. I don't want to go too far because it feels quite warm and I don't want to toast it, because the next thing that'll happen, I'll be scooping the bumper up off the floor as it drips away. So I'm going to try to... The biggest issue I've seen is that this should be a perfect curve judging by this side, because that's like that, and obviously that's really squished in. Next step, piece of wood, hammer, pray, be optimistic. Well then, that went better than I thought. As it turns out, it's still in a little bit at the bottom. But Jeremy Clarkson might have been right. Hammers might fix everything. I'm going to have a little bit of a tinker, so we can get a little bit straighter. I'll come back to you. Okay, so for a little bit of a tap with a hammer and a piece of wood, that actually turned out alright. It's actually got a shape to it again now. It's not all caved in, obviously the bumper's propped out with a piece of wood, before anybody notices that. It almost matches that side. Almost. So, I'm quite surprised by that. I also ran it over with a piece of paper as well, just to see where the high spots were. And then it just needs a little skim of filler, and then go from there. But let's open the real lights, sit one in, and see how it looks. Well, if I'm honest, I'm quite impressed with that. Now the gap in the bumper there does close up. I've tried a bolt in it already. Pretty much all I need to do is just level this stuff out a little bit more, so I don't have to plaster it in filler. Level it out a little bit, level the corner out in there, and then that's kind of it. That's gone really well. Well, it's hard enough to sand. Let's see what happens. There we go. As you can hopefully tell, there's only a little bit of filler across the entire panel. There's not loads on it. But other than that, that is pretty straight now. So that'll do. We'll put a little bit of can primer on it just for now until we actually come to paint it. And that's all she's getting for now. So what I'm going to do is put obviously the light back in, put the lump back on, and see how it looks. Well, if I'm honest, I don't think that's too bad. For what it's actually taken to deal with, it's not bad at all. There's one little bolt just to go up there somewhere, which I haven't got to yet. A couple of little bits inside, but ultimately that's repaired, drivable, legal, and back together. Right, this is where I'm going to leave this one. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. There's a lot more cars coming up, some of which you haven't even seen yet. See you soon.